we need to educate ourselves on. Cassandra said nobody told me the job of coming over.
Hmm?
Miss
Nobody
Cassandra,
told you I was coming over. I'll be there tomorrow. Don't worry about it. I need a bag. I'll be there tomorrow. Nobody told you I was coming over. I'll be there. Help you bake those pies and stuff. I'll be there.
alrighty then. But so what is trending across my news feed, and it still has something to do with our children. There was this woman, a mother, and I want to say allegedly. Well, anyways, she had a son that was acting out, and she wanted to scare the child. So she took out the weapon. I'll just say weapon. We all know what weapon, right? And I guess pointed it in his face to scare him because he was acting out, and end up unliving him. So I just don't understand this day and time. Why is
You
it
keep breaking up.
still?
I don't understand nothing you just said.
Well, she took out her weapon of choice because she said she was going to teach him a lesson about acting out, and end up unliving him. And I just don't understand why this day and time we're still with that old school method of I brought you in and I can take you out. Like, why would you think that that is a form of discipline? I don't understand. But we are going to discuss that. That is our discussion tonight. Feel free to join us as we dive into this topic. And Cassandra, you can join in and let us know what you think. Because the more, I did a little research, and even without the research, I don't understand why that would be. I don't understand why you would just pull that on anyone unless you intend to use it. But on the flip side of that, if you felt your life was in danger, but then what type of parenting, Opal? Opal, you know what? As a matter of fact, I just had me some fried chicken. Oh, it was so good. Thank you. So if you really thought that that was an insult, I really did have some fried chicken today. You should try it. But anyways, don't forget to monitor your YouTube because they have a propensity to go onto there and start talking all kinds of madness. But hello and welcome, Opal. I'm glad you can join me. And let me just ask you, do you have children? And if you do, what form of discipline do you use? And that's our topic. That's our topic. But I'm glad you can join me. And I might just think about going to get me some chicken and eating it because I'm still hungry. But I'm going to first do my live and move on from there. But thank you. Thank you so much, girl. Anyways, and so this is what doing a little bit of research and the reason why we should not use corporal punishment. But how did we get to that point? Because I believe the son was 16, 17. Like, what is it that we are missing that we believe at a certain age, we would have to do hand-to-hand combat with our own children. You know what I mean? Like, what is missing there when it comes down to disciplining? You know what I mean? Like, so has it always been a thing of using corporal punishment? Because I just believe that the end result would be that you will be challenged by that child. And if that child was disrespectful with others and you never corrected him, it was only a matter of time before he became disrespectful with you. Do you think that, Sweet Lips?
I agree, but some of the things I couldn't hear because you kept breaking up and freezing up.
Why would you have to
But
use
as far as punishment, I heard that part. Here's the thing. I just want to say, discipline a child, to me, I guess it depends on the situation, the parent, because, you know, as parents that we are, we really don't know everybody's situation and the reason why they would do it or why they feel the need to do it. Because let's be honest here, there's sometimes, no matter where you at, there's some kids that be needing it. We be in situations where we look like, okay, well, it may not be pleasable to us, but maybe there's a reason why that parent think that will work. We really don't know, because we can't go on like no kid need to be spanked. I mean, that's not realistic. I mean, come on. I mean, it happens, and it happening for a reason. It's one thing when you do it out of anger. It's another thing when you do it out of discipline, but we don't know the reason why. So it's hard for me to judge a parent when, I mean, everybody.
Right. So I believe when the child is young, you know, I would say up until maybe 13, 14, maybe 15 could be pushing it. Where they get to that stage where they're still trying to challenge you. But I don't know. I just don't believe that
You know, there's some people that believe in punishing or spanking their child. There's some people that don't believe it. It's just that it's hard when we don't know what the situation is. And one thing that we do not, as parents, we don't want to be judged. First thing we say, we don't want somebody to tell us how to discipline our kid or what's it. And then if you don't discipline your kid and your kid is all wild and out there and doing it, first thing you hear is, wow, that child should have been disciplined a long time ago. That child ain't got no respect. Oh, that child, because some things work for some people, some things work. You can talk to the kid till you blue in the face,
right.
And the kid still be disrespectful. And you be like, okay, what else is there for me to do? I mean, come on. I don't did this, I don't did that, I don't took things away, I don't explain things. And still, you have some kids, and it's not the fault of the parents, that are so disrespectful. And you have some kids as they grow up that they get away with so much that they just figure, I can do what I want. No matter what my parents say, they're never gonna do nothing. They just gonna talk to me all day. That's all they're gonna do. We don't know what that situation may be. It's hard to tell.
Right, but then to me, the more you discipline, the more angry your child becomes. So what are you proving? Especially if you use a lot of corporal punishment. They become immune to it over the years.
Here's the thing. I know, as there's some parents, like I said, I do and don't. There are some people that grew up with that and said, hey, look, my parents, hey, they used to put the wood to me. I didn't want to put, they be like, you know what? It kept me in line, let me tell you. It kept me in line. And I got friends where their parents ain't never did that, and they are totally out of control. Totally out of control. So it depends on, each situation is different and each parent is different. That's why I said it's hard hard to judge. And sometimes in society, we have to learn how to stop assuming and judging one another how someone's to raise their kids or what they should do, because we don't know what their situation is. We truly don't. We can only assume and give our opinion, but we don't know what their situation is or how that child is the way it is and the reason why the parent did that.
Right, but I just think that Cassandra said discipline works. Discipline works when you're not over disciplining. But this is what I truly believe. I think that if you, while they're young, if you start helping them to process what is wrong and what is right, like to me, if you stand there the whole time and everything is an MF this or B that, you spilled milk, you know what I mean? Now I have to use corporal punishment because you spilled milk. You lied, now I have to use corporal. If everything you do leads back to corporal punishment, to me, then that means that you're failing your child.
Yes, I agree with that sentiment. I think that's a wrong time you call crime. But let me give you a little Sam here, my people's. I remember when I was in a store, I seen, and the child must have been no more than maybe 4 or 5. This child caught a tantrum just because of the simple fact that he could not have a toy. The mom was like, nope, I'm not buying that toy. I mean, people in the store turned around, was like, they thought the lady was actually murdering this child, and she wasn't. He was catching such a tantrum, jumping on the floor, yelling, and only she was like, "You're not getting the toy. I don't know why you acting out this way." That child paid her no mind. Now we know back in the, we know what happened in a situation like that. It was like, are you kidding me? Because he couldn't have a toy.
But what I would say to that is when a child pulls that, it's because they've done it before and you gave in. No just means no. But if a child starts screaming and they're used to, if I scream loud enough, you know, and she had that look of frustration on her face, then that means she's going to go and get it. Now you're trying to say no when no should have meant no, 6 months ago? So
and the child was jumping all over the floor where the child can hurt it. So I mean, it was that bad.
Because the child has pulled that before.
People was in shock. I was in shock.
Oh, I've seen some kids act out. But then, I look at it like, that child must be used to getting his way. This is nothing new to the child. That's why the child is doing that.
I mean, you right about that. So I said certain things no, but you just never know, because I just know when we was brought up, you do that, boy, you go into that bathroom, they come back out, you straight.
You don't even need the bathroom, you just need that.
That's all I know. You straight.
That's all you have to do.
You straight.
But you know,
because these things sometimes as they get older gets worse. If you don't do something, it gets worse.
And then that's what I'm saying.
When the child's in school, it gets worse, because then the child figure they can't play with others. They think everything belongs to them. They fighting kids over a toy, and you don't want that.
But that's what I'm saying. If you correct it when they are young, 9 times out of 10, when a child is throwing a tantrum, if you never correct that in the beginning, even if it meant, you know what, as much as I don't want to do it, I'm leaving these groceries right here and we're leaving. We're leaving. And the next time I say I'm going somewhere to the store and you ask me, can you go? I'm going to tell you no. Because the last time I brought you to the store and you fell out and you're screaming and going on like someone's doing something to you, and that's not the correct behavior. Like when we get to that house, like do not expect anything. But then you have to discipline them according to their age. Cassandra says discipline works.
I'm glad you said that, because you know what? Here's the thing. I seen it was another situation where you seen a parent. Then this parent must have been an uncle into the store with the 2 kids, and he laid down the rules: what you ain't gonna do and what you ain't gonna get. And one of the kids made a smart remark like, for that, I could have stood in the car. He must have been the uncle because he said, you said what? Excuse me, you speak up loud. What did you say? And he was like, for that, I could have stood in the car. And he was like, okay, now if I leave you in the car, I'm going to jail. So I don't have no other choice. But he disciplined him with words quick, fast, and you can tell how that situation was going. That's why I said some parents, they do a lot of time out and talking, like with that child. Maybe the moms did that all the time, and maybe the problem is the child kept still acting out. No matter how much she said, take this away, I'm gonna do that, it just keeps getting worse. But because she probably never spanked him, she just did a lot of talking, and it probably ain't working no more.
Right.
So that's when the discipline comes in. Some kids need it. They need a little spanky spank because you tired of talking.
But see,
it ain't working no more.
Right, but see, that goes along with picking and choose your battle. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you said, there are times when you have to go above and beyond when they're young, because if you make all the corrections here, they have the foundation here. But when you tend to overlook their behavior, or you say, oh, well, you know what? Hey, Sweet Lips, I took the baby out and he was doing this and he was doing that. And then you look and say, that's your problem. But then soon he's going to do it to you. And so then what do you do when it's your problem? It becomes your problem. But if I say, hey, he did this and that, and then you say, you know, hey, when your aunt take you out, you can't do this, you can't do that. Now that child knows, I can't do it here, I can't do it here. She corrected me, he corrected me, then that's the wrong behavior.
Because that ever happens when it comes to the sugar lip.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Jesus.
You know, I already know I'm the candy cane on it. I'm going to put the candy cane on it. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. There's some things I cannot tolerate, and that's disrespect. No, can't have that. Can't have that.
Hello. Oh, hold on one second. Opal, I normally do not just, because I'm reading your comments and a lot of it is you're looking for attention. And I think I've given you your 3 minutes of fame already. So Opal on YouTube said, Mama, I'm a criminal for kidnapping your kids on Halloween. Grandma, you gotta be guys for red. I'll whip my kids with a dang belt. Girl, I know that it's supposed to be a wig, and so the wig has no E's in it. It's just a IG. And do you like smoking weed? Thanks again. Opal, if you continue to put this kind of mess on my page, and you know what's crazy is you're here talking crazy, at least like the page before you just come in here talking crazy. And see, this is the reason why I said that a lot of times the things that our children do, it's because it's what the parent is doing. And as I said Monday, when as a parent that you sit there and troll and disrespect someone else, now what do you think Opal's children would be doing online? The same exact thing that she's doing, trolling, insulting, but then when it's your turn, then you would not be able to take it. So Opal, I hope your day get better or your evening get better, because
people ain't got
you are
no
bitter.
lives, man.
You are a bitter person. Bob Manuel, hello. You know, and
Wow.
really I do need a moderator, because for someone to take the time out of their day, and we're talking and giving tidbits and trying to be the community, trying to be the village, and helping people, and we're saying there are other ways for you to discipline your child, to raise your child, but I will continue to say it and mean it and stand on it. The way you act as a parent in your household is who your child will be when they walk outside the door. So if you're a troll and you're looking for attention, I can only imagine if you have children what they are doing. So somewhere somebody set you up for failure, and then you're going to set your own children up for failure.
Yeah, but see, whatever you're saying there, that goes to the candy canes. See, that's what I'm talking about. Some of them need a little something.
Cassandra said, yes, Cassandra, it's like when you're looking for something negative, you have to go to the channels that likes to bring the negativity. Here on To The Point 101, we're talking about God's promises for children. We're talking about how to save our children's lives. We're talking about how to parent a little better and, leave all of those generational curses alone. I'll go upside your head. I'll do this and I'll do that, because it just seemed like within the last month, our children, we are orphaning our own children. We're taking the lives of our own children. And need be, whether it's from frustration, and the world that we live in, the economy, financial, like there's a lot of roles. There's a lot of things going on that have us all with our backs up against the wall trying to figure it out. But the more you encourage one another, then, the better off that person would be. And as we said before, if you're needing some type of help, look into some kind of community, there's things out there. And that's why I continue to say, if you know any agencies or whatever that can help a parent in your area, by all means, drop it. But then when whether you're a parent, whether you're a child, if you are a child and this is what you've been taught, then it is the wrong way. And then we're going to pray for you, because that's what we do. We pray for the lost. And if the parents are going through a little something, pray yourselves. The Father will come and save you. Just reach out, spend some time. The time you pray, the time you sitting here with your negativity, you can be praying for the Holy Spirit to remove all those demons in you so that you can be a better person.
They need some prayer. They need the hand put on them. They need the glove put on them. That's what they need. They need the glove put on them. That's what they need.
But you're right, Bob. And thank you for stopping in, and thank you for saying that, because, truly, but sometimes people don't know. People don't know. Even Jesus said when he was on the cross, forgive them, Father, for they not know. Forgive her, Father, for she not know. And if she's having a bad time, Lord, ease her burdens. But no one can ease the burdens for you, Opal. You have to come to the Lord yourself, okay? Take all your problems to Jesus. In Jesus' name, amen. You be healed, honey. Demons, whoever it is that's in you, get out of that woman and leave her alone. Let her tend to her kids and let her get her life together. Anyway, back to our topic at hand. Sometimes you just have to give them that little bit of attention that they're needing. So here I have a list of, and I'm going to share. Corporal punishment, which involves inflicting physical pain as a method of discipline, has been a controversial topic in child rearing practices. When used, it can lead to a variety of negative consequences for children. Research shows that corporal punishment may result in increased aggression. And that's what I'm saying. When you tell your child that you cannot hit and it's wrong to do this or wrong to do that, but then when you do it to them, then what are you telling them? You're saying that it's okay. That's what I believe. You're telling them that this is the correct way to handle things. And so when they go outside the door, they have all that built up aggression in them. Whatever you do to them when they go outside the door, that's what they're going to do to others. I just truly believe that. I just truly believe that. Um, Antisocial behavior and mental health issues. And I do believe that too. It can cause mental health issues in your child. It's causing you mental health issues having to do it. But you know what? And I said this before, and I truly believe it. I'm going to stand by it. A lot of times we take our generational curses and we start to raise our children the way we were raised. If corporal punishment was used on us, we didn't like it, but now we're bringing it in to another generation and saying it's right. Now, how can it be wrong when it was done to you, but now you want to do it to your child and say it's right? That's what I believe.
Okay, I agree with that, but here's the thing. I look at it this way in today's time. What about the kids that never was disciplined? What about the kids that never had a whooping, nothing? And when you look at it today, all these kids have all these problems, all these things they do, and then most of the parents that find out be like, well, I don't know why they're that way. I never raised them like that. I didn't even put a hand on them. I do not understand why they turned out like that. Because sometimes it's not all the parents. Sometimes the kids alone actually do what they see and hear in society, what they see on TV. Or say, oh, if this person's doing this and get away with it, oh, why can't I try that? If this person does this, why can't I do that? And you know you wasn't brought up that way, but then yet you want to go this way. Sometimes it's not the parents' fault. The parents more dumbfounded, like, I don't know how they turned out like that. I have no clue.
Let me tell you when and this is just my opinion, when a child is like that, when you're in a household and they're not disciplining you, they're not even looking your way, they're not even engaging with you at all. So you just have some parents that, okay, I'm not going to use corporal punishment to discipline my child. As a matter of fact, I am going to act like you're not even here. I spend no time with you. You probably haven't heard me say the word I love you. You probably heard it when I was carrying you, when you was in my womb. That's probably the only time you heard it. But when you isolate your child, I can give you everything there is. And I'm throwing money, I'm throwing the latest clothing at you, and I'm doing all of this and doing all that, but I have no clue. And you have no clue of who I am, what I like. I don't know what you like. I know I named you this, but whatever it is that I'm going through, you have to now take a back seat. So, don't assume because a child is not, being disciplined and no one's going upside their head, they're being ignored all the way around.
But see, here's the thing. Here's the flip side to that. And we want people to be out there to understand, because what we don't want y'all that's listening to us, this is our opinion, to us to keep y'all think that we only saying one side. Everything is different. We don't know, because there are those parents, and I know those parents are probably out there. If you're listening to us, which I hope you are, we know you're saying, hey, look, I spend time with my kid. We go on vacations together. We do all types of family things together, sit down, and still, I have a child that's sitting in jail. Had nothing to do with me. He had been raised the perfect way there is. Talk, been at the table together. We did it all. Here's the thing. There's parents out there that's probably saying, hey, look, not everything is a parent's fault. Sometimes you could give all and do the right thing, and no matter what, your child goes outside your door, come in your door, don't make a difference. Things change, they change, and it has nothing to do with you. It just has to. Some people are actually followers. Some kids are actually some kids want to experience certain things to be like, well, I want to get out and try. It happens. So we don't want you parents out there to think that we're saying, all you parents just keep messing up. Y'all not doing this right. Because we know there are parents that are doing it all the right way.
Because
and
there's no
things
such
still
thing as a
turn out
perfect
differently for your child. Yeah, so that's the thing about it. It's just, you just never know, because times have changed. Society now is in every living room, coming through the TV, you name it, and kids are sitting there just soaking it in. And what they want to give it a try. Why not? Hey, my friend Tony doing it, so why can't I do it? Things like that happen.
Right. But you know what, Cassandra said, you can have 3 or 4 kids. It's always one that will give you a problem. And you know what? And that is true. Because I just truly believe that that middle kid syndrome, to me, the one in the middle is usually the one that's going to get lost. The first one, you're doting all over, and then that last one, my baby, and then the other ones is there fighting for attention. But this is what I do believe, and I'll say it again. There's no such thing as a perfect parent. Because there's no such thing as a perfect person. Because, we're all really born from sin, even though Christ died, and took on our sins, but some of us just don't believe that we are free.
But there's also, and also no such thing as that a perfect kid. Because see, here's the thing: you can have a child that you can give everything to, you can spend time with, you can talk to, and no matter what happens, it could be that one thing. Some things is never enough. You do have kids. Let's realize there are kids that are unappreciative. It's never enough. You can work hard, 5 jobs, you can do whatever. It's never enough. And you be like, what more do you want me to do? It comes to a point where, as a parent, you say, I did all I can do. That's it for me. That is it. Because it's never enough.
True. That right there is so true. But let me tell you what the flip side of that is. When you see your child struggling, even if it's with self-identity, a child struggling because maybe someone talk about the child was fat, or the child hair too short, or whatever the case may be. When you see that there is a problem with your child and it borderlines mental health, it is still your obligation and your responsibility to get that child the help that is needed, because a lot of times, I'm not a scientist or a doctor, but sometimes that mental health thing is hereditary. Like, to me, people being bipolar or whatever, some of these mental illnesses is passed down. And a lot of times it has to do with the mental illness that was not addressed, because we want to sit there and think, well, I don't want nobody in my business. Oh no, I don't want nobody thinking my child crazy. Forget what the world is thinking, because in the end, the only one's going to suffer is you and your child. Because even when that child is an adult, you're still going to have sleepless nights wondering who is going to take advantage of your child.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. But then also, too, I look at it this way. It can be a 1-parent household. It can be a 2-parent household. Either way it goes, those parents, no matter what, you take the time out, and their parents are there to do everything they can with their child. I don't care if it has to do with counseling, this and that. But they do have that other time, the other half, where that I have to work to put food on the table. I have to keep a roof over our head.
Right.
It's so hard to do both, when it's like, well, if I can't take but so much time off work, because then I won't have a job. And then all of a sudden, how am I going to pay the rent? It's hard. It's difficult. But I'll say it again. It can be done, but it's hard. And then you have some kids that also don't help the situation. They make it worse. Even when you speak to them and do all you can do, I'll do the counseling. I'll pay for it. We'll go to counseling. And still, it's always something else. Something. That's hard.
You know what? As hard as it may be,
parent.
Right. As hard as it may be, it is your responsibility to get it done. It's hard. It is your responsibility.
You're right. It's your responsibility as a parent. yes, as a parent, it's your responsibility. But here's the thing that we both do know. And the real, out here in this world today, you know what? You very rarely have jobs that really let you take that much time off. So what's going to happen if we all lose our job, can't put food on the table, got no place to live, now what? Because really, in some cases, some jobs, they don't care about none of that. They don't care about your personal business going on at home. They only thing they know is you've been missing work a lot. So we're gonna have to lay you off.
And that comes back to watch who you put in office. Comes back to watch who you put in the office. But no, but what you're saying is true. And then I think a lot of times, and I have said this before, when you know that you have been through a lot of trauma in your childhood, in your lifetime, you have been through a lot of trauma. Sometimes we just don't get the help that's needed to overcome our own trauma. And then here we are having children without trauma. And now here we are inflicting this trauma onto this child because we never got the help. We don't know no better.
Agree, but also, yes, I agree. But I look at it this way too also. The help that you're supposed to get and the help you're looking for isn't that easy and ain't that simple. Sometimes they make it hard to just get the help. And then when you go to get the help, it makes it more worse because you're thinking like, okay, hey, look, I thought you were supposed to help me. I'm taking more time off work coming here and I ain't getting nowhere. Oh, and you got to come back another day. Oh, we're going to do this now. It's like, oh my God, y'all making my situation.
Hold on. Hold on, I just hit a wrong button. Hold on, I just hit the wrong button. But I just think even in that situation like that, what I don't like on how the government move is that even when you cry out for help and you sometimes go to this agency to get the help, the next thing you know, they're in your business. They're trying, not even in your business, they're trying to remove your child from the home. And all you're doing is just saying, I need help. And this is why I said we need to bring back the village. Before, when we were coming up, it took a village to raise a child. Everybody was helping one another. But now everyone is like, oh, you know, that's your problem. That ain't my problem. Oh, you know, her child this. No, hey, look at here. If you have the resources and you have that time, you know, when we were coming up, it's like, hey, look, why don't you just take a break and, you know, and you can bring your child over here and they can play with my child or whatever. Now, like, yeah, you want to build that community, you want to have that village, but you have to watch who's in the village. Because when you sending your child to these people's house, all this is going on, or all that's going on. Next thing you know, you got people touching your kid, you know, so you have to be careful, you have to be mindful. But at the end of the day, you as the parent, it is a must that you put the work in, because like I said before, when it's all said and done, no child asked to be brought into this world. That was a decision made by sometimes two people, sometimes it was just one trying to hold on. You know, back in the day when we used to say, you think that trying to trap a man is going to keep him there. When you're ready to go, you're going to go anyway. But, you know, it's like use all of your resources. The more frustrated you become and you get no help for yourself, then you can never be a help to your kid, because you yourself is damaged and never got the help that you needed. You never surrounded yourself with people that can see that you're going through something and offering that help.
But I want to say that, and for those that's out there, that I know there's people out there that's saying, hey, look, I went to go get help for my resources. Do you know how long it took for me to get this help and I ain't get it yet? I went to go reach it because, like I said again, it sounds, and they make it easy and sound these with all these commercials. Oh, you just call this and that and you don't get the help. Yeah, right. It never seems to be that easy. It's like I got to go through so much just to get the help. Oh, I called. I ain't heard back from nobody and it's been over a month. they make it seem easy, but it's not that easy. You'd be lucky if you actually get the help just that quick. Most of the time, they want you to go through this whole screening like if you're applying for a job. And you're like, geez, I just need some help. Well, what we need to do here, just like, look, I ain't got time for all that. It's hard. It's really, really hard.
It really is hard. But to say to someone, well, you just can't be hidden and you can't be, you can't hit, you can't lie, you can't steal, you can't do all that. But here you are putting all of this in your child's face to the point that your child thinks that it's normal. They really start to believe that this is the right way to go about conflict. They think it's the right way to resolve these issues that they are having. They start to really start feeling bad about themselves. And then sometime when you're sitting there telling your child, oh, you're worthless, or every time I turn around, you're always in trouble, you're doing this, you're costing me time, I'm about to lose my job. That child takes on all of that, and the next thing you know, either that child withdrew because they're depressed, or that child is thinking to themselves, I'm such a problem, so let me unalive myself. And I believe that's why we have a lot of children that's unaliving themselves. There's so much pressure that's put on them instead of trying to parent them according to their age range. And I really can't say the age range because some kids are really, really advanced. But I think if you resolve your own childhood trauma, then you would be a better parent to your child and not create that and repeat that same trauma that you went through and you inflict that on your child. And now here you now have this angry you because children is just a duplicate of their parent. I'm angry all the time and cussing. Here's my mini me angry all the time and cussing because I knew no other way. Now I'm inflicting this kind of behavior onto my child and they know no other way. So that's why I always say, if you have gone through some type of trauma in your life, before you start reproducing, get yourself that help. Because you can't do better when you don't know any better. But if you reach out and take that time to self-heal, then to me, you would make a better parent. Cassandra said, really don't want to be, some of them just don't want to be bothered. It's almost like you have this child, and then you treat that child like a burden. What do you think that child is thinking? When you're sitting there cussing your child out and they go out amongst their peers and you see, her mother hugs her up and they hold hands and they're talking and they're smiling. And as soon as I see my mother, what'd you do today? How many times teacher had to talk to you? You know what I mean? So it's like, it's hard, but in the end, it is your responsibility to try and give your child the best that you can give. And the best should not be going upside their heads on every single thing. You got a child, you get up in the morning, did you say good morning? No, give me the belt. Did you take the garbage out? No, give me the belt. It's like, what worked back then, it's not working now. And it's not working now because really, when it's all said and done, the government too much in your business. And the schools is teaching your children, if they yell at you and you know your feelings is hurt, this is who you call. The government is too much in your business. True. And you're not allowed to discipline your child. Like if you discipline your child and then they want to haul you in and say, CPS, ACS, whoever it is coming to knock on your door. But then they can get stopped for any reason. And then you have this person in this suit that will do more to your child than you would ever dare to do. As a matter of fact, when they're done with
And
your
not only
child,
that,
they may not even come home alive.
I agree. Not only that, sometimes they take your child away from you, put your child in placement, and then want to complain about how the taxpayers is paying for it. But then when they put that child in placement, somehow that child turned out worse than when they were with their parents. Much worse. Trust me, it happens. It happens.
Cassandra said some women think if they have children, they would keep. Yeah, some of them do think that if they have a child, that's going to keep a man. Or if I get her pregnant, I'm gonna be attached to her forever. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, 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 no. Even forget that. You know, um, to me,
That's true.
just
That's
be in
true.
that
That's so.
relationship for a long period of time, because I just think that
That's true.
we get into these relationships and we try to call anything that looks dysfunctional, especially if we come from a dysfunctional background ourselves, red flags
That's
that
so
we
true.
see,
I agree.
we say we deem that normal because we come from a dysfunctional background, and that's all we seen anyway. So if he ain't lying and he ain't cheating and
True.
he ain't going upside your head, then he don't love you. But if he doing all that, oh, hold on to him. That's the
That's true.
confused state that
'Cause,
we're
hey,
in.
when I plant my seed, I thought I would keep the woman. She took the plant and the trees and all. She took it all. She took every bush I don't planted. And I'm up there thinking I'm gonna keep the bomb, keep these trees, keep these seeds and watch them grow. Took the plant.
If anybody want my little brother Sweet Lips, you just let me know so I can send
I was
him.
bare in the bush, without a branch in sight.
Okay, that's now. So it causes anxiety and depression. It often damages the parent-child relationship, fostering fear rather than respect and understanding. And that I want to say is true. Sometimes there's no understanding, but there's fear. And fear will cause you to react differently.
Yeah.
Fear will cause you to react differently. If you try to react off of fear, you know what I mean? You just be like, oh, let me just take the wood. What is what, by the way? You know, you're looking for a ham, you're looking for anything because you're fearing that person. But you know what I just don't understand either? Because like I said, within these last couple of months, these children are dropping like flies at the hands of their parents, especially these younger ones, 6, 7 months, 2 months. At that point, what I don't understand is we come back to the village. Not only do we come back to the village, but now we're coming back to family. If you see that this person is suffering mentally, because you can pinpoint when you have a family member that's going through something mentally, how are you not there to support them? And why would you not be there to support them? Sometimes you have to step in. See, and that comes back to the village. Sometimes you have to step in. Like, to me, it's your responsibility. It's your responsibility. Because when a person is crying out and you're closing this door and closing that door and closing that door, and your attitude is always, well, it ain't mine, it ain't mine, it ain't. No, and when it's all said and done, it's yours. It's yours. So, again, we have to be mindful. We have to be mindful as a village when we see anyone in our village within, I don't know, maybe a mile radius. Sometimes you have to step up to the plate and just have some type of empathy and sympathy for the next human being. Because guess what? What you overlook today, that may be the same child that gets you when you're 60, 70-year old. You know what I mean? Because we always talk about how these 14, 15-year-old going upside the heads of these senior citizens and robbing them, and doing this and doing that. Not that that is an excuse. But a lot of times, if we just have a kind heart to just say,
yeah, I know how it is.
Yeah, you just have to have a kind heart and be like, you know what, let me help this here person. And not just keep turning the blind eye like, oh, that's her problem, that's her problem, that's her problem. It's her problem till her kid gets you. When they kicking your door in, taking your things, you know what I mean? Whacking your mama over the head. Now the problem comes right back full circle. And what we are trying to say, Sweet Lips and I, is that it still takes a village. It still takes a village. If you see someone going through something, don't come at them in a negative way. Do not sit there and start, because you didn't feed your child, and I heard your child screaming that night, and hey, look at here. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. If I'm already going through something and you trying to approach me like you way better than I am, then I have a problem with you. And you already know I ain't rocked too tight upstairs, so now I have to take the focus off my kid and bring it to your door.
I agree.
So it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Be kind to one another. If you see someone going through something, offer them some type of assistance. Try to get close to that person. If you see that their child, the child could be hungry, maybe that person don't have enough money to buy clothes and yours done outgrew, hand it down. Stop trying to do garage sales. Stop trying to take it to Once Upon a Child. We all hurting for something, but if we come together as a community in a village, then we can support each other, because really, that's the only way to God's kingdom anyway. That is the only way to God's kingdom. If you do not love your brothers and sisters as the Lord loves you, you will never inherit God's kingdom. So, with that being said, let me just go off this list and then we'll end it. So that we can, you know what? As a matter of fact, we can just pick up where we left off tomorrow, because tomorrow is always another day. But
yes, it is.
Bob Manuel, I cannot pronounce your last name and I don't want to mess it up. But thank you for joining. And Opal, hopefully your day or evening get better. And Cassandra, thank you for joining us. It is your Auntie Sledge and your Uncle Sweet Lips saying, we are bringing the village back. It takes a village to raise a child. Where is the village? We are the village. We're starting the village. We're starting the village, okay? Your Auntie Village and your Uncle Village say, enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, depending on where you are watching from. And remember, your child belongs to the Most High. Even when you were a child, you was that special gift. Your child now is that gift from the Father, and we're going to get it right. It may take time. Nothing happens overnight. And again, if there's anything you think we should go over, you would like to add, drop it in the comment box or send an email to Point101 8. If you know any resources that you would like to share that's in your area, by all means, bring it all in. Do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Hold on a second. Let me just get this here. Any merch, www.
Don't forget to shop www.tothepoint101.com for your latest merch.
There you go. ToThePoint101.com for your latest merch. We thank you for allowing us to share our thoughts, share our experiences. We're not doctors, we're not preachers. We are just two people that's very concerned about what is going on with our children this day and time. So, it is Sledge, it is Sweet Lips, and we are out of here.